Welcome to the UrbanWallStreet project. I'm your host, Earl Christian III, of course, and today I have a dynamic show for you with an incredible woman that I've known for a few years, a great friend of mine from school, and she's a major player in this music game. If you don't know, you're about to find out. Let me introduce you to the incredible, it's Joi Brown. Joi!
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Finally, I got you in here. You know, this is not what Joi likes to do, but you know, it's that HU love, so she had that knowledge and I need for her to share that. So Joi, first things first, how you been?
I'm good. I'm hanging in there.
Nice. So you've been doing this for a while, but you know, I know you from Howard, but I don't know everything. So tell me, Joi Brown, for my audience, who's Joi?
Good question. I guess someone who's still figuring out her path, but I've been in the music game, I guess, about 18, 19 years now. I came up from, after Howard, I worked for Howard University, and then I had a little stint working for the government, but I've always been drawn to the arts. I studied dance, and I did, dance in school. So, I don't know, just one day, I think after like learning how to throw parties and interacting with record labels in New York, dibbling, dabbling, and seeing people who come before me that were in the music business. I went to Howard. I was intrigued, and then I just knew that music was a passion point of mine,
right.
And I just took a leap of faith, and just one day just decided to move up here and just to kind of network and see who I can find to give me a chance.
Nice. So your exodus, before you got to Howard, where are you from, Joi?
Well, I'm originally from Detroit. A lot of people don't realize that.
D-town.
Yes, I'm originally from Detroit, and then I moved to New Jersey when I was around 9 or 10.
Okay.
And so I say like I'm from New Jersey because I feel like I grew up mostly there,
right.
But my heart and my roots are really I'm grounded in Detroit.
And then Howard, what made you choose Howard?
Let's see. I think what happened is that, in Detroit, I grew up around my family, and I was around a lot of African Americans, and then when I went to New Jersey, I had culture shock. I ended up moving into an all-white neighborhood, and one thing it taught me was, it taught me how to really fight and persevere. When there's no one else looking like you, to kind of be set to be kind of a leader. And I think by the time I graduated, I really was looking forward to, I don't know, just a different experience. And so when I learned all about HBCUs, I was like, it might be interesting. And for me, I felt like I could go somewhere and focus on academics and not necessarily focus on fighting, racial tension, or
right.
or breaking color barriers in a school. I can find. I went to end up going to Howard and realizing there were a million Joi Browns, as opposed to
right.
in high school it was just one of me,
right. And let me ask you, and I'm glad you said that, because when I went to Howard, I never visited anything. I didn't even think about what you just said, like racial barrier. We come out of the Bronx. How do you think going to Howard affected your life as opposed to maybe if you had gone to a non-HBCU?
It definitely taught me a sense of self. Learning self-value, have pride, and knowing your history. Of where we've come from and our struggles, and to see that we really haven't come as far as we thought. It's taught me not to say. One thing that Howard teaches you is you never settle for no, and I think that's why I've been successful, because you tell me no, I just find another way to get it. And I think it instills a sense of pride and the spirit of entrepreneur that I think that a PYT school may not have instilled in you, because again, I feel like when you go to those institutions where you're not, when you're the minority,
mm-hmm.
You have, outside of academics, you have other stresses and stuff to deal with, where when you go to HBCU, you're really focused on your academics.
Give me one of your greatest childhood memories.
Being in my grandmother's backyard in Detroit, and she had a plum tree, and I used to always pick the plums off the tree and eat them. And she used to tell me always wait till they're ripe, but I would just eat them anyway.
Did you ever get sick?
No.
So you never OD'd and ate too many?
No, I used to, well, this is a disgusting story if I'm sharing this with you guys, but I used to eat mayonnaise when I was little. I don't know why, I just eat it. And so one day she said, stop eating the mayonnaise, you'll get sick. And one day I remember just eating a whole bunch of mayonnaise. And I remember going to bed because I was so nauseous, and I never ate mayonnaise again until like maybe my adult years after that.
Wow, mayonnaise, huh?
Yeah, man.
It's amazing so many people have different
When you're
fixations when you're a kid.
I was a kid, I don't know, but that and butter.
Butter?
Butter and pickles, I don't know. I would do the same thing.
Pickles, I remember pickles back then. Butter, put on some bread. But I know some people that just bite a stick of butter like if it's...
Kids do that. I don't know any adults or teenagers that do that, but I know that I was like, okay, I don't know what it was about this stuff. It's disgusting. It makes my stomach hurt thinking about it.
So now you're a mom to two beautiful daughters. Yes, and how's mommyhood?
It's challenging. I mean, I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I look at them and see, like, you know, that's the best thing I could have ever done in my life. It's hard, you know. It doesn't come with a roadmap, you know. It's no, this is how you do this and this is how you do this, you know. Because one and having twins is difficult because they're so different, and so it's not one thing I can do the work for both children, you know. They're so different, so one thing works for one child and doesn't work for the other one, and vice versa. I mean, I think my goal is just not to screw up their lives, you know, do the best I can with the information and the wisdom I have, and, you know, hopefully I'll raise two beautiful, you know, civil-minded, successful little girls.
Now, you know, a lot of our, maybe our colleagues from Howard, they send those want to push their children. Are you like, walk by your kids and be like, Howard,
Oh, of course.
Howard? Putting it in their ear, right?
Oh, yeah. They've gone to homecoming. They've, you know, I still have a huge DC contingency, so we all push them. And they're very well aware, because even like they do a fake little college fair at their school, and I was mad because no one picked Howard.
Oh, okay.
Wow. But they had to come and tell me. They're like, Mom, you know you're gonna be mad, but they didn't have a Howard University as a list, so you know I had to take that up with the school. But yeah, they're very well aware.
That's nice. That's nice. We're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna find out about this amazing woman and the career she's had over about 20 years. She's a serious situation. 10 years?
Yeah.
Oh, that's me. I'm the one with 20 years.
He's old.
She's 10 years. I'm the old. She's vibrant. She's an amazing woman, but stay tuned. We'll be right back.
This is Alice Hartman from Paris. Welcome to the Black Excellence Tour from a café in Châtelet. Bienvenue au Black Excellence Tour dans un café de Châtelet. Je ne me rappelle plus du nom, donc on ne peut pas le créditer.
Yo, we standing here at the Louvre complex, the three pyramids. You know, the Belt of Orion has three pyramids, 3 stars. Pyramids are definitely a stellar thing. Pyrrha is fire. Mid is in or between, so in the fire. And so this is the complex. You see the 4 pillars in the Masonic, you know, everywhere that hold up, that support the earth, and then above it support the heavens. You got different layers, and then on top you got the cherubim. Like, this shit is so Masonic. You got Boaz and Joaquin on every corner with your 2 pillars. Look that up, B-O-A-Z and J-O-A-C-H-I-N. Significance. Then you got like a Arc de Triomphe type structure over there doing the same thing. And they don't have they have an obelisk somewhere with reflective pool, and it to demonstrate as above, so below. When you get to that point, you see the Eiffel Tower's needle over in the distance. And this whole complex is Kemet. It's a replica of Kemet in Paris. And it's really Black excellence because Kemet is us.
Welcome back to the UrbanWallStreet project. I'm sitting here with my good friend Joi Brown, SVP over at Atlantic.
Yes.
And she's going to talk about this music industry. You know, we've talked about that over the years with some other individuals, but she's going to definitely share her experiences and how her career has been in this situation. So, Joy, we don't know how long it's been. It's been about probably 2 or 3 years, right? But tell me, SVP over at Atlantic, I know it didn't start here, right? So it's been a nice road.
Yeah.
So tell me about the earlier years in your, I should say, if there were any adversities you had to overcome, or how tough your skin had to be to really maneuver and last in the game. Because a lot of people come and go. So how have you been able to be so successful and sustained?
Well, let's see. I've been at Atlantic, I think this year marks my 16th year. So this has really been my home career-wise. I started off working, started working at Atlantic Records through working with Little Kim and Junior Mafia with Undias, which was Biggie and Un's label. And it was distributed through Atlantic Records. So I think starting there, you know, being a low man on the totem pole, but just kind of like paying my dues, you know, being the first person in the door, last one to leave, just being a holder of a lot of information, being able to multitask and be on point and have excellent follow-through skills, I think is what's given me the longevity in this career. I think also staying with trends and staying kind of ahead of the game in terms of what's next in our business has helped me flourish in my career. You know, when I first started Atlantic, I worked directly with talent, so I was in marketing. So I was in charge. I tell people my job was likened to a manager, but on the label side. So if the artist breathed, I knew. You know, they went to the bathroom, I knew. In charge of like their image, you know, from videos to photos to press and overseeing everything. And then now I've transitioned to doing brand partnerships. And so brand partnerships is, to me, honestly critical and integral to our business now. You know, our business changed from CDs, you know, well tapes to CDs, now streaming. And so a lot of our efforts are digital and, you know, and viral. And so now with that, the business changed, and now we're having to kind of supplement revenue, and that's why brand partnerships has become so important. And so my day-to-day is to kind of find opportunities outside of music for artists to participate in. So I've done endorsement deals with liquor companies, I've done clothing line deals, I've done private performance gigs for artists, or social media opportunities for them. And so it's kind of find a way to stretch their celebrity and open them up to new audiences, and also bring in, you know, revenue through that way. And so it's an area in the music business that's growing because our business changes constantly. And I think because I've just been so engrossed in it and just staying on top of what's happening is that has given me the longevity to be here this long.
Now you said two things, and I definitely appreciate it. One, the music industry is definitely changing. You know, we went from tapes to CDs to now it's digital and streaming. And now, and when you start, you know, so, you know, during the days of Biggie and Kim and Junior Mafia, we were definitely dealing with cassettes and CDs.
Oh, we're doing vinyl.
And vinyl. So
I remember shipping vinyl to DJs.
how has streaming, I guess, how has it, or in what ways has the streaming impacted like artists' abilities to generate revenue? Or has it?
Yeah, it definitely has, because the consumer changed. You know, the consumer model changed. Like, people are more immediate. You know, people don't want to make the investment to buy 10 and 12 songs automatically, especially from someone new. So streaming is giving life to, I'd say, the emerging talent, the ones who are just getting started and bubbling and have some ground buzz. And it can be a hurdle for those who have a longer established careers, because maybe someone's not buying 9 or 10 songs. They just want to listen to the song over and over again. And an artist, you know, streaming, we've had to figure that out. You know, for an artist to make money, you can't just stream one album. So we have to do playlisting. So we got to pick the single and put it in a great playlist that's streamed a lot. So streaming is something that, you know, I think at Atlantic and Warner Music Group, we've done an excellent job of figuring out how to monetize it. But across the board, it's been, our industry-wise, an area that we've all been trying to figure out.
Why do you think it's such a challenge? What's the challenge?
Because, you know, the pay scale of it. You know, like a CD, you know, you could buy a CD for $9.99, $10.99. You and the artist knows what they're getting off of that.
Okay.
For streaming, you know, you're paying about $9.99 a month for a service. So, you know, you've got to, the higher the volume of streaming, the more the artist and label makes. So if you're not listening to the song on a streaming device and you didn't buy it on iTunes or what have you, then, you know, it's become a struggle.
So I know so when you started your career out, well, I guess we got you to Atlantic, you was working with Cam and out here. Who's some of the other individuals whose careers you were definitely like integral in your life?
Okay. I'd say definitely Brandy. You know, Sean Paul. Who else? T.I. I worked with Yolanda Adams briefly. I worked with Tamia briefly. I'm trying to think of some artists that you guys would still around. Let's see. Then Wiz Khalifa, and then now I work with everybody.
Right.
So now I can work on deals across genres. So I get a chance to work with Bruno Mars, to Francesco Yates, to David Guetta. So I get to dibble and dabble, even in country, you know. So that's why I really love what I do, is that I get, you know, I listen to all kind of music. And so I love working in a place where, you know, I can identify my passion points and music that I'm familiar with, and then be able to relate that to a brand so I can come on board.
And has music always been your passion?
Yeah, you know, yeah. Because even like in high school, I went to a performing arts high school and I danced in high school. So I'd say like I'm artsy fartsy. Yeah,
artsy. I feel you, yes.
So I've always danced. That was my way of kind of expressing myself, you know. And so I don't do that no more. I'm too old for that. But so music, you know, being able to visualize and come up with creative ideas by listening to a song and talking to an artist is another way of me expressing myself.
Definitely, I love it. We're going to take a quick break again. When we come back, we're going to wrap it up. But Ms. Brown is going to share some incredibly valuable tips and information for those of you who think you want to be in this music industry or you want to be an artist in front or behind the camera. You definitely want to get your pen and pad out because there's a lot of things you need to know. There's some myths you need to be aware of that can be debunked. So we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Zelia. I'm with UrbanWallStreet, which is amazing. And you are in Paris, in my little kingdom, Zelia, sur la terre comme au ciel. And you can also call me soon ZZ by Moma, because this is my new brand. I'm making aprons. And I was happy to be with you, UrbanWallStreet. I'm good at practicing my English, so thank you for everybody.
How had Howard University influenced the evolution of your life?
That's a crazy question. Like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Howard. Everybody that I rely upon in the music business, I met at Howard. My pedigree and like what I was trained as came from Howard. All the people that like put something into me for the first time came from Howard University, and most importantly, my support system come from there. You know what I mean? So it's family. That, like, to me, this is the only place in the world that I go and I'm called by my real name. You know, that's a special thing for me. So, you know, for us, it's just a real homecoming. Like, we come back to DC, we celebrate each other, we appreciate each other no matter what level you on. All that don't matter. Like, we all just family when we come back here.
En direct de Paris, Fatou Meïté au micro. pour la promo du Black Excellence Tour. Une vidéo à voir, à diffuser, à partager. Je compte sur vous. Black Love. Hello, live from Paris, France. I'm Fatou Meite for Black Excellence video. Stick around, talk to your friends, talk to your family. Don't forget, this is all about love. This is all about your future. This is all about Black love.
So before we get out of here, I want to definitely get some information. You know, the Urban Wall Street always want to give you that insightful information. It's about meeting people and being exposed to individuals who have come before you doing some great things, but it's also about understanding the knowledge that they have and the wisdom that they can share. So if you're ready to be in this music industry as an artist or somebody that can, you know, works with artists and navigates artists' careers, then you want to hear some of these things right here. So Ms. Brown, that's some young people. You mentor folks. I love it, right? Talk to the individuals. A lot of kids always want to be in the music industry. They'll see me, Mr. C, I want to produce, or I want to do this, I want to rap, and they think it's just, you know, make a record and I'm going to get a deal. So let's talk about maybe just a few, if you can, a couple of the myths, and then I just want you to give me 3 solid pieces of advice for anybody, young or old, that think this is what they want to do. What's one of the biggest misconceptions about the music industry, Joy, that you've observed over your career?
That success happens overnight. So a lot of people see, you know, listen to radio and like, oh, well, look at Drake and Rihanna, and forget that they've started where they started from is not where they are today, and it's taken a lot of time and sacrifice and rehearsal and being there and showing up to get to where they are. You know, when I meet artists like, oh, you know, they think that, you know, just ship a record off the radio and it gets played right away. There's so much competition out there to get a record played on the radio that, you know, you're fighting. Your record may be up against a Drake record, and then you think about who's going to win that battle.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so success is not overnight. So it takes a lot of time for your career to build up to get to a point. I mean, you have those one-offs like Designer, right? He had a huge record, but you don't hear the next record. You know,
Right.
so there's few that break through. There's some that break through, but the chance of it breaking through are like a dime a dozen.
Now, do you think it's harder to break through, the chances of breaking through now are harder now than it was maybe 10 years ago?
Yeah, because, well, I'd say, let me speak for black music.
That's what I'm saying, black music, right, definitely.
So for black music, yes, because the number of radio stations that actually play black music now has changed. You know, they're not a plethora of black stations anymore. And you know, you have the Radio 1 chain and Clear Channel, obviously, are the 2 big major radio chains, and MS Broadcasting. But if you look at how they're skewed, you know, like for example, in New York, Hot 97 is considered a rhythmic station, not considered an urban station. So when you have to look at how your record's trending urban, you know, it could be played on Hot 97, but not be considered an urban record. And then you have to think of, if you listen to how many records they actually play, they play about the same 10, 12, 13 songs over and over again. So think about how many artists there are per record label, plus smaller labels out there fighting for that one chance for that record to be played. So it's a tough competition.
You know, you saying that, it takes me back to the last thing you said. When I went to see the Motown, the musical, and they was talking about, you know, when in the beginning, you know, a Motown, there was one record. Okay, so we have one record that's going to get played. So who's the hottest artist? So the Smokey Robinson, okay, they'll give us Smokey's hottest single. It wasn't like, okay, the Smokey got a song out, and this person got a song out, and that person got a song out. And the early was like, yo, what's going to be the hottest record? And it kind of speaks to what you're saying. Who got the hottest? And if there's 13 songs in that rotation all day,
I mean, we fight for a space, you know. And that's why artists going out touring is important, you know, going out there and doing shows, because you build up your fan base. You got to build up demand. Being on social media, connecting to your fans, that's important because they want to get to know you, especially in this whole reality world-driven society now. You know, you've got to connect to your audience. And so it's super important that you have those things in place, that you have a social media footprint, that you are out there touring and touching babies and doing everything you can do to connect with your fans. It's a lot of work.
Yes. So before we wrap it up, 3 sound pieces of advice that you would give to a young person who will see this, or they think, I know that's the career I want. I love music. I love it. I don't know, but if you think you want to come here, you need to know these things.
You need to take any position to get your foot in the door. Like, don't be afraid to be in the mailroom. Don't be afraid to be an assistant. You know, if you can, that's important. 2 is that take advantage of your youth. You know, this is a youth-driven business. You know, I'd say, like, you know, if you get an opportunity, intern, because that's a great way to get your foot in the door, see what it's about without having to make a career choice.
Now, will that internship always have money attached to it?
No. Most internships don't. You have, I know for Warner Music Group, you have to get college credit. So you have to be studying something along the line, whether it's sales, publicity, marketing, what have you, to get college credit. And you may have to work a part-time job, you know, because it doesn't pay. But the experience that you get in getting your foot in the door is worth the sacrifice. So that would be 2. And I say 3 is that be prepared, you know, learn the business. People think like, oh, music is fun and, you know, it's glamorous, you can do all these things. But at the bottom line, it's about us producing numbers and sales. You know, if we're not producing numbers and we're not, you know, selling the records, then, you know, the lights don't stay on and then some heads gotta roll. So at the end of the day, it's a business.
That's my accent. Listen, as always, I want to bring you the brightest and the best. Clearly, Miss Joi Brown is one of the brightest and the best. I hope you enjoyed this segment. Hope you've learned something. This music industry is an incredible industry to be in, but it's definitely serious. It's not a game. So if you're really serious about your business and your craft and your future, heed the words and the advice of Ms. Brown, some other colleagues and people you know, and do what you got to do. Do your diligence, stay focused. No, nothing's going to come overnight. They say sometimes it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. Tie your sneakers up tight, Timberland, whatever you rock, and make it happen. As always, you've been watching the UrbanWallStreet Project. Until next time, peace.